It's Ports a Call waterfront dining, award-winning service and cuisine with a view of the dynamic L.A. harbor from every seat. For reservations and directions, visit portsacalldining.com or call 310-833-3553.
All right, welcome to another edition of LA Radio Sessions, and tonight, woo, it's going to be a wild one tonight.
Oh, no kidding.
I'm here with Bobby the Wheels Bar once again.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
And what happens when Bobby the Wheels Bar is in this studio?
We rock out, brother.
We have blues in the house.
That's true, too.
Why don't you do the introduction, and we'll get rolling here.
Okay, well, we have in the house Mr. Bernie Pearl, Dave Widow, and Joe Puerta from Ambrosia was sitting in with us tonight.
Listen here, baby, honey, what I have to say to you, I want you to know, babe, I got those bye-bye blues. I say nighttime is the right time, be with the woman you love. When you're out at night, I can't take my rest, and the food I eat, baby, just won't digest. I said nighttime is the right time, be with the woman you love. Come on, Dave. My baby followed me to the door. She said, please come back, honey, you don't have to go. I say nighttime's the right time, be with the one you love. Your lover, Sissy said, Daddy, bye, bye, bye. I said, nighttime is the right time, be with the one you love. Listen to this here. Yes, I cried last night, I cried the whole night long. I cried last night, I cried the whole night long. I didn't miss my lover till the little girl she gone. And one more thing I want to say. Now when a woman gets the blues, she hangs her head and cries. But when a man gets the blues, he flag a train and run. Nighttime is the right time, be with the woman you love. Take us home, Dave.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right.
Great.
That song was?
That was Mance Lipscomb's Nighttime is the Right Time, as opposed to the one that Ray Charles and Roosevelt Sykes did originally, which was called The Right Time. Different words. Mance called that Nighttime is the Right Time to be with the one you love.
I like that. It's a nice, gritty little blues.
Well, how did you got to know Mance when you were at the Ash Grove? You want to tell us a little bit about how that all came together?
I'll tell you, first my introduction to Mance Lipscomb came in about 1959 or 60, I'm not sure, when our Hooli more or less found him in Navasota, Texas. That's not quite the way it happened. Marhuli didn't go out and find him. Somebody asked Lightning Hopkins in Houston, were there any good old-time blues players back in the country? And he said, well, there's one old boy back there. He knew damn well who Mance Lipscomb was, because Mance Lipscomb had fled Navasota to Houston to get away from the big boss landowner about whom he had written a song, Tom Moore's song. At any rate, his nephew was a good friend of Lightning, T. Lipscomb. So Lightning referred this folklorist, Mac McCormick, in Houston to Navasota. He found Mance, who was, of course, a retired sharecropper working doing something for the roads department or something or other. He had a little bit of a little piece of, actually I don't know if that time he had his own land. Mm-hmm. At any rate, he got in touch with Chris Strockwitz at our Hooli. Actually, our Hooli wasn't even started yet. Mance was his first record. He came to Navasota with a little tape recorder and sat in Mance's room or on his porch and recorded. Oh, I'm sorry, talking to the wrong mic. And recorded Mance.
Right.
He put out an album, and to my everlasting shame, when I heard the album, I said, "Well, gee, that doesn't sound all that good," because I had already met Brownie McGee, and Brownie was
right.
And I had already met Lightning Hopkins, and Lightning was, kind of the epitome of the down-home blues, and Brownie was all very accomplished and very polished. And I was listening to Mance. Well, I don't know, but I wasn't in a position to book or not book. My brother booked him.
Right.
Showed up, and they all took Greyhound. They didn't fly at the time, and absolutely wonderful, magnificent player, not flashy, not showy. And as I've learned over the decades, you best go back to him because he's layer after layer after layer after layer about his acoustic playing. And if we get to it later on, I'll play my latest acquisition from Mance Lipscomb, which I learned from my CD, and also learned he was a much better guitar player than I ever thought. That was 2 years ago. But that's how I met Mance Lipscomb. So he didn't teach me per se, but I talked with him and got to know him, and he invited me to play with him on stage, which I did for several years when he come out. But I wasn't playing solos. I was going best I could. But I became a lifelong adherent of Mance, and I'm going in August. Mike and I are going back to Navasota to play at the Mance Lipscomb Festival in Navasota. That'll be my third time there, and
Nice.
my second time. But I love Mance Lipscomb, but a very, very subtle guitar player. He had a repertoire going back to before the turn of the 20th century. His father had been born in slavery. He was a fiddler. Mance grew up playing guitar for his father. So he learned those old songs, and he played World War I songs, and he played the blues, and he played religious songs, and played everything, pop songs. He called himself a songster, not a blues, but I loved his blues the best, and that's what I played. So that's my relationship to Mance. So that was kind of his theme song right there, so I've adopted it myself.
That's a great song. We're going to be doing another one of his later, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever you like.
Dave, what do you got planned here for this evening?
Oh,
It doesn't sound like he has any
I didn't really
plans.
have a plan
Okay.
coming in. I'm just gonna, wing it and play some
okay.
things for you. And
Well, you got your start with Lonnie Mack. Why don't we talk a little bit about that briefly and maybe play one of Lonnie's songs?
yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, Lonnie we recently lost Lonnie, right?
Yeah, we sure did. Boy, that was a sad day. We lost, Lonnie and Prince on the same day. so Lonnie got overshadowed a little bit by the Prince news, but I really, knowing Lonnie, that was a pretty sad day for me.
Right.
How'd you get hooked up with Lonnie initially?
Well, he was playing at where I was going to school. He was playing at my college, and one of my buddies said, "Hey, Lonnie Mac's playing here at lunchtime. We need to go see him." And I said, "Oh, okay." I had actually never seen him before, but I'd heard of him. He's from that area, and and he had those cool records like Memphis and Chicken Pickin' and all that stuff. But Lonnie was playing there, and I got to meet him, and I got to talk to Lonnie a while. They had a little bit of time before they were getting ready to play, and Lonnie, kind of filled me in on his life and career.
Mm-hmm.
And that was interesting because I didn't know a lot about him, and I wasn't really playing music for a living. At that point, I just sort of following my parents' best advice, which was get something to fall back on. Yeah.
And none of the people in this room have done that, I'm sure.
That used to be my standard answer for people when they ask me, what would you recommend to anybody who wants to make it in the music business? I said, don't learn a trade to fall back on.
Yeah, right. Then you got nothing else to choose from. Yeah, yeah.
So I think I wanted to mention that Dave is very modest. Last year, Dave invited me to play on a show with him at the same venue. Complete sellout show. It was fantastic, and that's kind of why we're doing it again. Dave was kind enough to invite me to play again, but we have a pretty good background together at that venue, and Dave put on a spectacular show.
Thank you. Thank
no,
you.
it was
That's
great.
Really
It was
nice
wonderful.
Coming from you, Bernie.
Well, got to tell the truth, and it was a completely sold out show. And this year, with Kirk Fletcher on there, it's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be off the hook for sure.
I won't use a gun metaphor, but it will. They will be firing some guitar bullets.
So it was that show last year where you guys initially hooked up, or did you guys know each other from before?
Well, Bob had put on a show where Dave was on. We had said hello, but I didn't know Dave per se.
Right.
Yeah, I knew of Bernie though.
Who doesn't know of Bernie?
Sure.
Live in Southern California,
Yeah,
you know
from
of
the
Bernie.
time I got to California, I think really I started hearing of Bernie Pearl, and you were probably doing the blues concerts back then.
When did you?
It was like '88 when I first came out.
Yeah. Still doing the blues festival at Long Beach and the radio show.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, why don't we pick up on a tune here? You guys want to pick out a number you want to play?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's do that.
I don't need to play unless I know.
You know what? A lot of it's in G. It just kind of drones on the G a lot with a couple of little color changes.
What are you
I
gonna play?
think you could just
What tune?
kind of mess around with it. It's called Funky Country Living. It's like. My mama raising hell and raising kids, fighting, fishing, hunting, being poor folk, and the neighbors looking down on what we did. I was born funky country living, raising chicken, chasing girls, and homemade wine. I was born funky country living. I'll be funky country when I die. I'll be funky country living when I die. I was raised in a one-classroom schoolhouse. It didn't matter, I did not learn much anyway. Educated in the fields and in the barnyards, sopping hog, grazing chicken, and a pitching hay. I was born on funky country living, raising chicken, chasing girls, and homemade wine. I was born funky country living. I'll be funky country living when I die. One more time. One more.
Oh, yeah.
That was outstanding. Thank you, Dave. Thanks,
Yeah,
Bernie.
you're welcome.
Thanks,
Got
Joe.
the
That was
words there,
fantastic.
Can we do that one over?
What's the origin of that tune?
That's a Lonnie Mac song that I used to enjoy hearing him play when I'd go see him. And that was one of my favorites. So I just enjoy playing it.
Well, you and Bernie have similar background with the people that mentored you, because Bernie was mentored by Lightning Hopkins and Mance and Brownie McGee and a number of people, and you had Lonnie Mac to kind of guide you along the way. You know, maybe
A little bit.
Yeah, you know, maybe we can, while we're talking about Lonnie, why don't we talk a little bit about, you know, some of the things he did for you and helped you out along the way.
Well, from the first day I met him, Lonnie was really, really kind. He was considerate. He let me up and play. You know, I asked him, could I sit in, which was, I had a lot of nerve, really, you know, to be honest. You know, and those guys weren't expecting much, you know, but Lonnie was going to let me. He let me sit in, and then, you know, it was pretty interesting because I saw the band's jaws collectively drop, and I was like trading licks with Lonnie, and we had a pretty kind of similar style, I realized, and it really opened my eyes to, you know, what I could do, and then I started to go out and sit in with him all the time. He was playing around the area because he was living around there at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Whereabouts was this?
Cincinnati, Indiana, Kentucky, that little tri-state area.
Right.
And Lonnie was kind of touring around doing different things, and I'd sit in with him every chance I got, so I kind of became a semi-regular sit-in with Lonnie,
Right.
which didn't hurt, you know.
No, that's got to be exciting.
Yeah, it helped me sharpen my skills and you know, learn some things. And
Well, Bernie, you got started with Lightning Hopkins. I know there were several people, but Lightning seemed to be someone that influenced you a lot.
Yeah, I started with Brownie McGee.
Oh, okay.
I actually took lessons from him. And he and Sonny were very encouraging, and it was, you know, it was just wonderful. I never played with them.
Okay.
Sonny actually came and sat in one time when I was playing, but Brownie and Sonny. But then Lightning came along, and he was like, you know, coming from Mars or something. he was so accomplished. He was so at ease with the audience. And he had the gold rings and the suit and the hat, and he had a gold tooth, and when the spotlight hit the gold tooth, it would radiate. I said, okay, that's it. That's it. Very nice guy. He was kind of, I mean, actually, I took a lesson from him, one. Mm-hmm. Myself and my buddy David Cohen mm-hmm. and Barry Hansen, who became Dr. Demento,
right.
took a lesson. Barry didn't play guitar. but he was a folklore student at UCLA. So the three of us had, I think we each gave him $20. In 1960, that was not bad, 59 or 60. That was,
Right.
I was paying $25 a month rent, so you know.
Yeah.
Wow.
But so
Perspective.
David and I took a guitar lesson. How do you do this? How do you do that kind of thing. And Barry interviewed him on his, for his folklore class. So Lightnin was, he was not the, here I am, the braggadocio, but he was very charismatic. And he was so accomplished musically and such a performer that I was immediately attracted to him. So I became, I towed his guitar and I'd drive him around. He had relatives in the area and I'd drive him around there. And I don't think I ever took another lesson per se, but we talked a lot. And I think that's the main thing, is I learned kind of the blues ethos.
Right.
Essentially, it's the golden rule. Treat people right.
There you go.
Essentially. And that was their message from all of them. And the other message was they were all disturbed that their own people were not learning their music. They were all concerned that their music was going to die.
Right.
Yeah.
And not that I said this is my mission, but I absorbed so much from them that I had no other choice.
Right.
I've been in this rut for about 60 years now.
You've been on that mission, haven't you?
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I try to express some of my own stuff, but I don't, if I'm going to Louisiana, find me a mojo hat, I could never come up with that. It's not part of my culture. But yeah, I love the song. I love the way he played it.
Right.
And I love, and then they can't diminish the guitar mastery either, because these are people, especially that that older generation.
Right.
They played for decades in juke joints solo.
Right.
That's how they developed that style. They're able to play the bass and the chords and sing and do the solos all at once, no other accompaniment. And that's an accomplishment, and they're very highly developed musicians.
You got a Lightning Hopkins song in your bag there for us?
Well, I just might. This is all the introduction. Wouldn't mind staying in jail. I gotta stay there so long. Wouldn't mind staying in jail. I gotta stay there so long. Seem like all my friends done shook my hand, now they're gone. 30 days in jail, my back turned to the wall. Got 30 days, my back turned to the wall. I know some other mule skinner must be kicking in my baby's song. Come on, Dave. bring me that key. Mr. Jailer, won't you bring me that key? Won't you open up that jailhouse door? Man, this ain't no place for a man like me.
Oh yeah.
That was outstanding.
You know, I love it. I love it that, you know, blues players tend to, when they get together, you guys didn't have anything planned when you came in today, right?
We rehearsed for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Liar.
It doesn't matter.
We flew back to where
Right.
Yeah,
Philadelphia.
But it all comes together for some reason when you guys get together.
Yeah. Well,
Is that
we
the
can-
is that
we
the
can relate?
is that the nature of the beast?
Well, yeah, better
It
be.
should be. It better be right.
What can we expect on Saturday night from you guys?
I think it's gonna be
Or
a fun
or is
show.
that not planned out yet either?
Well, you got that right. I don't know. Is your show planned? I haven't planned my show yet. I'm pretty
I've
spontaneous
been doing
about
the
that.
same 17 songs for the last 50 years. So
Yeah. Right.
Every so often I drop something new in there.
Right. There you go. I'm going to do some of my originals, and I'm going to do some of my favorite, tunes that I've done for a long time too.
Now, are you guys going to play together at all during the show?
Yeah, definitely. We're going to get together and jam at the end.
That's Dave's call.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're not going to waste that, that chance. Yeah.
And Dave, you're going to have your full band, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll do a jam at the end.
And Bernie,
Have some fun.
you're by yourself?
No,
or-
me and Mike Berry, my bass player,
Okay.
since about 1985. So we've been together 30-something years.
Wow.
Good.
Dave, you want to give us a tune now? Maybe an
Yeah.
original, maybe? How about
Yeah,
it?
sure.
How about an original?
Sure. Just take a little sip of water.
And that is water, right? Not vodka?
Oh,
Well, I'll never tell.
I don't think that was a bottle of gin I saw.
No, it's just straight water. Let's see. Let's do let's do Nothing on You.
okay.
This is you can
See what
play along. You can mess with it. It's an E, and then
you need?
it's an E
People's key.
in the people's key. That's right. When I see you on the street, you seem so sweet and good, acting just as innocent as babies in the wood, looking like sweet butter would melt upon your tongue while you're telling everybody about the awful things I've done. But ooh, I ain't got nothing on you. I ain't got nothing on you. Said ooh, I ain't got nothing on you. I ain't got nothing on you. You keep telling all your lies, and people all think Said, ooh, I ain't got nothing on you. I ain't got nothing on you. Said, ooh, I ain't got nothing on you. I ain't got nothing on you. Nothing on you. You keep, see you on the street. Lord, I see you everywhere. Lord, I ain't got nothing. Lord, I ain't got nothing. Here we go. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
Kind of winging this stuff, you know.
That's all right. That's what it's all about. Tell us about that song a little bit.
It was good. I thought that was pretty good, Bernie.
Well,
you sounded great, actually.
Hey, I finally found the D chord.
Yeah.
Last chorus. I told you I'm not that fast.
Tell me why E is the people's chord.
The guitar
It's
tunes?
like a very popular key for guitar. You know, it's just one of the best sounding keys. It's got those open strings in it, right?
That's the key.
Right.
That's why it's
It's like a great power chord for electric guitar.
all the strings are pentatonic notes in the E pentatonic scale.
Yeah, that's right, huh?
You cannot. It may not sound right, but it doesn't sound wrong either.
What's the link race on the blam? Is it a blam, 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 rumble? Or is that?
I don't know, but
I think it just starts
Yeah.
with-
Yeah,
those
those-
open strings.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
How many chords are allowed in any given blues song?
maximum?
Maximum.
Probably 4.
2.5.
Yeah, can you do fractions?
Yeah, you're pushing it at 4.
Have you ever heard John Lee Hooker change a chord, really? And that's the real blues.
Yeah, that's for sure.
right.
Well, you brought your slide guitar with you, Bernie.
Sure did.
We're gonna do a little slide
I
work
wasn't
here?
going to, but then they said you're gonna do a video.
That's
And
a
I
beautiful
think I brought
guitar
it last
too.
time too,
Yeah.
didn't I? Yeah. Well, here's a point. Here's a case in point. This is one of the many one-chord blues from Mississippi.
Where do you have that tune to? Just out of
G.
curiosity.
This is in G.
Yeah.
What kind of guitar is that?
That's a national.
National.
Should I break mine out too, just for the hell of it, or let him do it? Yeah, I brought a tricone. I don't know. I could put a little something on it, or you just do your thing.
So they just put out a documentary on Fred McDowell.
Oh, okay.
It just came out. There's a trailer is out, and it's called "Shake 'Em On Down," which I would do, except I'm in the wrong tuning for it. Fred McDowell was a kind of a unique discovery, because all of the Mississippi players that Son House and Skip James and Mississippi John Hurt,
Right.
Booker White, they all had recorded before World War II, and they had gone back south looking for them to see how many were alive, and quite a few were still alive. They had some years left, so they had that whole upsurge. Fred McDowell was somebody who not only had not been heard before, but his style of play had never been heard before. There's north,
Wow.
the hill country outside of Memphis. He's from Como.
Yeah, I'll bet it is.
And he did religious songs, but he played in a style that no one had heard. And I didn't know the difference, because I really never listened to Delta blues until Son House came around and so forth. Then I got more interested in it.
Right.
So Fred McDowell really wasn't a Delta player, but there's a video out on him now, which may play around somewhere. This one has 2 chords, actually. It's more one of the most polished. All the singing's in the 4 chord, all the playing's in the 1.
Okay.
So you don't change to the 4 till you hear me sing, and change back to 1. Write me a few little lines. Lord, when you get home, darling, sit down and write me a few little lines. You bring consolation, Lord, mama, to my worried mind. I'm going down by the river, sit down on the ground. Going down by the river, sit down on the ground. Waves in the water gonna wash my trouble down. I left my baby standing in her back door crying. I left my baby in her back door crying. Never felt so sorry till I told that little girl goodbye. Laying down on my floor, woke up this morning, I was laying down on my floor. I told my baby I won't get drunk no more. Hate to lie to the girl, but walking down that gravel road. I get to sweet mama's door. I'm going down by the river, going carry my red rocking chair. Down by the river, going carry my rocking chair. Blues overtake me, I won't rock on away from there, rock out.
Wow, that was outstanding.
That was outstanding. Absolutely. Bob, why don't you tell everybody about the show that's coming up?
Well, okay.
Give them the details.
All right. The Grand Annex is presenting Dave Widow and the lineup with Bernie Pearl, with Mike Berry, and we have special guest Kirk Fletcher on the bill. The doors open at 7:30. Show kicks off at 8 o'clock. You can get your tickets right now online and save $5 off the door price. So on any of the ticket levels, you can save some money right now if you get your tickets and going to brownpapertickets.com.
Save
and
the money.
That's right, brother. We need some money.
Can we talk a little bit about Kirk Fletcher?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I don't know that. I don't know that much about him. Dave is friends with him. Dave knows him, but
Yeah,
I know
let's-
he is a great guitar player.
Well, he blew everybody out at Doheny. He had a big standing ovation down there on the. He wasn't on the main stage, but on the second stage. But those are two huge stages. It's not like a small second stage. Anyway, but Kurt was down there and just killed it. And he's played with Joe Bonamassa and the Fabulous Thunderbirds, and God knows everybody
He's got
else.
his own band too, and
Yeah. So anyway, you continue on, Dave.
Kirk, I just known him for really, I guess it's been a few years, and he was playing up at Harvell's, and I sat in. Actually, James Gatson was playing drums that night, and so I ended up sitting in too, and Kirk and I played a little bit. It was fun. Nice little mix.
Well,
And
James is going to be there too.
James is playing at this gig. That's right.
Yeah, he's returning this year as well. I mean, James has got 500 gold records.
Yeah,
He is
He is the definitive, in my world, the definitive blues drummer. But he plays everything.
Oh yeah, he's played with Paul McCartney,
Yeah,
and
he's
Beck,
Barbra
you know.
Streisand, all
Yeah,
kinds
yeah.
of
and
stuff.
then to Albert King, playing with people
the
like
three
that.
Kings, all three Kings.
Oh, he
he's
played with all three of them.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And Ray Charles and
And
lot of-
he's an amazing player.
most of the Motown artists in the early '70s. He's like I think everyone, but I can't remember which was the one he didn't, play on their hits. But
There's always one in every crowd. Just one.
yeah, why do they?
No, it's just, Dave's band is spectacular. There's nothing, no other word to describe it.
Damn,
And he's
very
great.
nice of you.
He himself is a great individual artist.
Well, I think we should have another tune from Dave now.
That's nice of you to say, Bernie. I think a lot of you are playing
Well-
too. That was fun what we did.
Well, yeah. One
I
chord,
really
man.
enjoyed that. Yeah.
2 chords. Wait.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, Dave,
Okay, let me rip something off here, I guess. How about Before You Accuse Me in the Key of E? How would that work, guys?
Did you do that one? Or you want a big hit? Piss you off?
Well, I don't know if Bernie would like the first time playing that. There is a
That's when it has 6 chords in it.
It is. It's a blues tune with a few extra chords.
Well, then I'm just going to sit here.
No, I don't want you to do that. I want
All
you
I
to.
know
You're
is 3
here,
chords.
so we got to play.
E, A, and the other one.
We're gonna do one of those tunes. We're gonna play Before You Accuse Me. How about that?
All right. Well, that sounds like a winner, and that's from your album.
That's one of my favorites. Actually, I used to hear Lonnie used to play that a lot in his live sets, and that's kind of where I picked it up. Even though I think that's a Bo Diddley song, right? Before You Accuse Me, yeah. Let me just do a little quick little adjustment here. Okay. Before you accuse me, take a good look at yourself. Before you accuse me, take a good look at yourself. You stop and running around, babe. You're running around with someone else. Lord, I called your house 3-4 nights ago. I called your house 3-4 nights ago. Your mama told me, son, she said that don't come out no more, no more. Before you accuse me, take a good look at yourself. Before you accuse me, take a good look at yourself. You're stopping running around with other women, but you're running around with someone else. Yes, you are. Well, come on back home, baby. Try my loving one more time. Well, come on back home, baby. Try my good loving one more time. You're stopping running around, girl. I'm about to lose my mind. Before you accuse me, take a good look at yourself. Before you accuse me, take a good look at yourself. That's what you gotta do. Before you accuse me, babe, don't you take nobody else. Yeah, babe.
Yeah.
Oh, mercy. That is something.
Now, you said Lonnie Mack used to do that in his set.
Yeah, he did.
Who did that originally? Help us out.
Bo Diddley.
Bo Diddley.
Bo Diddley? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let me ask you guys this, because you're all Bernie's been at it a long time, and Dave, you play blues, but yours is more of a mix of other
R&B,
things, R&B, and all of that.
rock.
Yeah, for sure.
What is the state of the art of blues at this point? Would you say?
Giant
Is that-
pregnant
is that-
pause.
There's
is
a
that-
lot of guys doing different things. I mean, you know, it's not just
very-
any
You know-
one thing. You know,
All over
It's-
the place.
I think, and people have the tendency to want to just shrink it down into a very narrow thing. You know, but it's not. I think it's composed of a lot of different little sub genres, and you know, you got your.
The reason I ask,
blues, you got your.
the reason I ask is that it's the one genre that seems to transcend everything else. It seems to transcend any other changes in the musical business. You know, we go through all these other changes that go on, but blues seems to maintain throughout history. You know.
Yeah, people have been proclaiming the death of the blues for many decades now.
Yeah.
There are blues audiences and there are blues audiences, and some are more accustomed. Let's say, Rod Piazza does that jump swing kind of a thing.
Right.
You got Joe Bonamassa, a mega known person, and he does
Blues rock.
really pretty well. But I mean, he does Howlin' Wolf, and he does it real well.
He mixes it up. He's
Yeah. There's a lot of
what his
then
project
you know,
is.
guys like me, they're very traditional, or people who stay within a confine. This is what I'm comfortable with and what I worked on. I don't feel like I want to do all these other things, but there's a niche for everything. And
Yeah.
so there's a lot of variation in it. There are people that I'm not even familiar with, like Gary Clark Jr. He's like very, very well. I'm really not familiar with what he does.
Right.
Yeah. Well, blues rock.
Yeah.
I mean, but his real strong stuff, his first EP was a really strong blues album, and then he kind of came out with a kind of a more watered down version.
well-
The new album's supposed to be killer, but I haven't heard it yet.
And then there are people who focus on very traditional things. There's people around who do that West Coastish T-Bone
Swings,
Walker,
Yeah, there's a lot of
Johnny
those.
Guitar Watson.
Right.
There's such a huge variety. But I mean, essentially, just to be cliched about it, is the blues is the mother or is the father
Right.
of American music.
That's true.
Pretty
It's the
much
source
everything
point.
stems from the guy behind the plow moaning his life.
That's
That's
true.
what everybody
Work
says.
songs.
It's people who express themselves and had no other means of expression,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that's the gut of it. And I think anything is listable if it's coming from the heart, if it's sincere, if it's honest.
Well, that's
And when I see somebody who is very, very, very accomplished technically, but I don't feel anything. And then I see a guy going 2.5 chords and just tearing my heart out. It's like, I know where my heart is.
Yeah.
Right.
I like to hear the heart in it. I really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we do that Mississippi John Hurt song we were talking about at the beginning of the show? You said you had another one that you were going to do?
Well, I've got a Mississippi John Hurt song, but it's a solo finger pick. You were talking about Fred McDowell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Either
you
way.
were talking about Fred McDowell.
McDowell. Okay, I got
Oh.
confused. I'm sorry.
Well, I can't do.
You
the
get
one-
confused easily, Bob.
This is true. By the way,
Yeah.
I'm going to play a couple electric
idea.
things on my set on a different slide guitar through an amp. And
So
this-
you aren't opposed to plugging in?
Not at all. No, I'm a shredder. I'm a closet shredder.
Are you really?
I like how he just said that. I'm a shredder. I'm a closet.
Yeah, a closet shredder. I love
I'm a
that,
shredder.
One chorus.
You want us to play with you?
Yes, absolutely. This is a Fred McDowell song. I did it kind of his way originally, and I recorded it, but I've reworked it to work more with the electric, but this is in a little different key, it'll be a little hard to sing, and it's different guitar that I'm doing it on. But this is the song that I taught to the cast where I met Barbara Morrison in 1981. We were both involved in a play, and I taught this to the cast as one of the songs for the show. Lord, I've been drinking water out of a hollow log, no changes. Lord, I've been drinking water out of a hollow log. I can't be your kid, man, baby, I sure ain't gonna be your dog. My mind. Well, there ain't but the one thing, honey, ever grieved my mind. Well, that worried all about that long, tall girl of mine. Good day. Got a long, tall woman, got a little bitty woman too. Got me a long, tall woman, got a little bitty woman too. My bitty woman told me, Daddy, what you want me to do? By my hand, I said, now run here, baby, come and take me by my hand. Won't you tell me, darling, why you need another man? I woke up this morning, blues lying by my side. Woke up this morning, the blues lying by my side. My baby, she done grabbed me, said she wasn't satisfied. Good morning, blue, blue.
right.
Amazing, guys. Amazing.
That is excellent.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, you know, they're going to be in for a treat on Saturday night.
I'm going to do that one Saturday, Bill. You're do it on electric.
You're going to do it on electric. Okay.
All right.
And with the help of a bass player. Although
we got a bass player.
we've got
Good.
to. I want to do this before we go any further, and move this mic over so that we can
absolutely.
we can give the bass player some love here.
Love.
Joe, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I just got back from a little East Coast run. Went to started off in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and then we went up to a little town called Bethlehem,
And this
Pennsylvania.
and this is with the band Ambrosia.
Ambrosia, yeah. We're still out there, still making our rounds, going around the country, and a few foreign visits once in a while.
Quite a jump from the blues to Ambrosia, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know, I'll tell you what, the very first song, our very first single, was actually very much influenced by B.B. King's Thrill Is Gone, because the song started off kind of a country rock thing, because when I first started writing songs, the big thing at the time was Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and I was really influenced by them.
Right.
And I had written a song called Holding On to Yesterday. I'd written the hook anyway. And then our guitarist, Dave Pack, came in with some new chords and changes. Then our drummer said, you know, we ought to make it kind of more bluesy. So it's actually, it's a variation of a blues, but actually, like you were saying, how the blues influences everything and seeps into all styles of music. The song that started off country rock ended up with a bluesy thing, and we even brought in a classical violinist who played this soaring, beautiful solo over these changes. So it's a mixture of a lot of different things, but it actually was our attempt to be, in a way, a bluesy, progressive rock.
Wow. Yeah, amazing
country song. It was combining lots of elements.
Yeah,
but it was a mixture of a lot of different elements, but blues was a big part of it.
and of course you played with a lot of other different people that are not blues oriented. Bruce Hornsby in the Range.
Right. Well, again, Bruce is a master of so many styles of music. To play with him is like playing with a professor of music. I mean, he's got a degree, of course, in music. He went to the University of Miami, and he's studied with some of the top players in the nation have come out of that school.
And you and Dave play occasionally. You've got another gig with your band on Saturday.
Well, yeah, I mean, in between touring, but there was, we have lots of holes in our schedule. And for a while there, I was actually living right down the street from Dave. So I said, hey, Dave, man, let's get together, and I've got time in between. I'm not playing enough in between these shows. I'd really like to play more. And he said, well, let's see what happens. And lo and behold, we've done quite a few shows together, and we've done it. I think every time we've done it, we've had a different drummer, though. we've had a few drummers that have repeated, but actually, we've done it now with a group of several different drummers. So it's every time we do it, it's a different thing. We did what's Taylor? Alvin Taylor one time. James Gadsden.
Burley
Drummond, Tony Bronigal. Burley from Ambrosia's done it a few times. Chris, of course, Cushwa. Cushwa, he's from Alabama. He's a great drummer and singer. What I love doing when Chris comes, we do. It's a man's world. He's got this great. He's just one of those southern white boys with a good soulful voice. I love doing that too. So.
Well,
but anyway.
You know, we didn't expect you tonight, and this was an added bonus. Dave dragged you in, and we're happy you joined the party here.
Oh, well, thanks. It was great to meet Bernie. Legendary, and of course, it's first time playing with him. This is great. Someday maybe we'll do it again.
Absolutely. All right, we're running low on time, so can we get you to do one more tune? And but let's plug the show one more time.
Okay. Well, this show is billed Together Again. The Grand Annex presents a night of blues, and Together Again, because we did the show last year at the Grand Annex, and it was such a success, we had to repeat this again. So anyway, it's the Grand Annex Night of Blues. And you know what?
Give the address.
Okay, I'm about to do that if I can, if it's on the card here. If I can take my glasses off.
I'll help you here.
All right, the address is not. Anyway, it's right down the street from the Warner Grand Theater. This is at the Grand Annex in downtown San Pedro, 6th Street. And on 6th Street, right block, half a block actually from the Warner Grand Theater. And you can get tickets at brownpaperticket.com.
That's right.
All right. I didn't put the paper bag in there. So, and that's June 18th. Doors open at 7:30. Show starts at 8 o'clock with Bernie Pearl doing an acoustic set. And you can save money right now by getting your tickets online.
Are they going to have service of any kind, drinks?
Oh yeah,
food,
oh
whatever?
yeah. They got beer, they got wine, we got soda, we got a little snacks, but we got wine, buddy. We're good.
Yeah, sometimes they do. I'm not sure whether they will or not.
Yeah.
On the show, but.
Well, it should be a great show, guys. Did you want to give some tickets away, or?
Well, yeah. If they want to,
Yeah,
we can give a pair of tickets away. Right? Actually, we'll give 2 pairs of tickets away. Now, all we need to do is have you guys out there that are listening go to musicwriterdude.
That would be you.
That would be me,
Yeah.
and I'll get you the tickets, or we'll put you on the list. So I need you to send an email to musicwriterdude@gmail.com.
Like the first 2.
Yeah, the first 2 emails I get, you get a pair of tickets. We'll put you on the. I guess what we'll have to do is we'll put you on the list for the night, since we're probably not going to have enough time to get the physical tickets to you. But go to musicwriterdude.com, and the first 2 emails I get will get an entry for a pair of tickets to get in the show.
And this is live tonight on Tuesday, but tomorrow it'll be on YouTube. And if you're just tuning into YouTube tomorrow and the tickets aren't gone,
we will do it. By God, we'll move those pair of tickets.
We'll move those pair of tickets.
Yeah.
Well, I can't thank you guys enough for coming in and sharing your music again, and want to get everybody to go out to the Grand Annex on Saturday, June 18th. And can you take us out with one last tune, guys?
Sure. You want to do one, or you want me to do one? Okay. All right. Do something here. How about let's see. Let's do. We could do Sweet Home Chicago.
Sure.
In E. Is that all right? You want to start it off? Well, come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Well, come on, darling, don't you wanna go? Back from the same old place, sweet home Chicago. So come on, darling, don't you wanna go? Well, come on, darling, don't you wanna go? Back from the land of California, my sweet home to Chicago. Come on, Bernie. come on, darling, don't you wanna go back from the land of California to my sweet home near Chicago? 2 and 2 is 4, 2 and 4 is 6. Come on, little darling, you know that's how I get my kicks. So come on, darling, don't you wanna go back from the land of California to my sweet home near Chicago? Well, come on, darling, don't you wanna go? Well, come on, darling, don't you wanna go back from the land of California to my sweet home near Chicago?
Thank you, guys. That was awesome.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you on Saturday night, guys.
Right.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.